Good morning. Alex and I are here at the Mitchell Lake Trailhead, and this is located inside the Brainard Lake Recreation Area. And today we're gonna go for Mount Toll, but we're gonna do it the exciting way. We're gonna go up from Blue Lake. I think we're looking at maybe 4+ miles out with 25 to 2,600 foot elevation gain, something like that. All right, guys, and we've been hiking for just over an hour, mainly in the low light and dark, but we're almost up to Blue Lake, and this is where the hike is going to get fun, and that is Mount Toll right out there in front of us. Whew, it's looking savage. And in just under an hour and 10 minutes, we've made it up here to Blue Lake. And we crushed that trail just now. Wow, this is beautiful. The colors are popping right now. And that's looking up at Little Pawnee Peak. I've never done that one. Looks a little technical. And the official start time was 6:20, and we arrived up here at Blue Lake at about 7:30. But yeah, the hike is gonna get interesting from here on out. And this is what we're looking at. I think we're gonna take it around the north side of the water here and then come up this ramp just below the snow, try and get up here on this flat section, and then take it on up to the summit. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Wow, these are some epic views this morning. Beautiful. And shout out to Alex. He has been a longtime supporter of the channel. He's been a Patreon since day one, so I really appreciate that. And he invited me to go on this hike with him today, and I couldn't pass it up. But if you want to talk about an OG of Rocky Mountain National Park, this guy's done everything. Every mountain, every route, he's done it. We're making our way around Blue Lake. We're gaining some elevation, picking our way through some big rocks, but this is super fun. And that little waterfall out there is beautiful. We're staying on the trail, cutting it through all these rocks. And I'm moving just a tad bit slow. Got to make sure all my steps are solid, because I don't want a knee popper out here. Nope. Alex is saying that there's another little pond up here. However, it may be dried up. Now, this is really fun back here. I'm liking it. We're staying on the trail too. And the closer we get to that thing, the bigger it looks. Wow. And Alex was on the money with this prediction. There it is. Wow, that's pretty right there. A little hidden lake up here. So we've made it around to just under this little snow patch. And this is where we're gonna start heading up. And that looks pretty good. We can get that. It's just past 8 o'clock, so we've been out here for about an hour and 45 minutes or so, and we're sitting right at 11,500. The summit of Mount Toll is 12,900 something. So we've got just under 1,500 more up to the top. We're getting up this thing, and it's really not too bad. It's actually a lot of fun. Just taking it straight up these rocks. And that's all the further we are above Blue Lake. I feel like for as tired as I am, we should be higher. Yeah, this is tough. This thing is going pretty much straight up. But we're looking good. I mean, so far everything through here is doable. All right, guys. It's just now about 8:25 or so. So we've been out here for a little over 2 hours, and we're up at 11,900, which means we've got a little over 1,000 left. And my goodness, that's gonna take some effort. And we've just about made it up to the bowl part up here. We're gonna have to hike it up the wall. And we can see another little tarn out there. That's cool. It's got kind of a silver look to it. And there's a better shot of it. That's cool. What we're gonna do is keep it straight and kind of angle it over here to the right and take it up through that grass. And it was at this moment when I realized I think I forgot to put deodorant on this morning. Woo! I am stinky. At least I think I'm stinky. I feel like I'm stinky. Hopefully I'm not stinky. And this is what we're coming up right now. And we've almost topped out on this little shelf up here. And once we get up there, I'm gonna feel real good, because I've been up there before. Alex is doing this entire thing with no poles. I'm telling you, these poles are saving my life right now. We've almost hit 12,600. The summit's just up there over 12,900. So we're getting real close. We're getting so close I can taste it. What does it taste like? Pain. We got this, guys. We got this. According to the GPS, we're looking at a long 1/10 of a mile up to the summit with maybe a 250-foot gain. We're up here at about 12,750. So a little less than 200 up to the top. And that's all we've got left. Home stretch. This is the final part. And this thing gets steep at the end. We're going straight up. But that's going to be the top. All right, guys, it's just now about 9:30. So that took us 3 hours and 10 minutes, but we're up here. Summit of Mount Toll. Oh, that was a killer. Unbelievable views to the west. Wow, that is incredible. You can see hundreds of peaks. At least 100. And that's looking over to Shoshone, Apache, and Navajo. But look at this area back in here. That's straight savage. And that's looking over at Mount Audubon. And you can see Twin Sisters sticking up in the background. And then the one on the left is Paiute Peak. Yep, it's pronounced Paiute Peak. When I did that video, I was calling it Paiute Peak or something the first like 3/4 of the video, until I ran into somebody. And they're like, oh, you did Paiute. I'm like, what's Paiute? Like, that's how you pronounce it. I was like, oh, it's not Paiute? They're like, no. Are you stupid? And these are the views from the chill spot. This is amazing up here. And there's virtually zero wind, which is making it so much more enjoyable. I don't know, there's maybe like a 5-mile-per-hour breeze or something. Yeah, it's just enough to feel good. All those peaks sticking up over there are savage looking. A bunch of ones I've barely ever heard of, and that I'll never get to the top of. Like Cherokee, Anchoni. I might have said that wrong. I don't know, there's a bunch of Indian sounding names. All right, guys, it's just now about 10:15, which means that we've been up here on the summit of Mount Toll for about 45 minutes or so. Just enjoying this beautiful day. But it's time to go. It's time to head on back. All right, guys, let's do it. Let's take it on back. And I'm thinking this might take us 2.5 or 2 hours and 45 minutes to come down. Yeah, we're not going to be stopping as frequently as we did on the way up, I know that. And we've made it down all those real big rocks at the top, which is also by far the steepest part. And the rest of this should get a little easier now. And wow, coming down this part is a little harder than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, this is super steep. And that's looking up at the summit. We've come down quite a bit. It's only 10:45 right now, so that's only taken 30 minutes. And we've been hiking down for just under an hour. We've dropped down to 11,400. So we're knocking this out. What a beautiful hike. I am loving it. We're coming down the Mitchell Lake Trail. We're passing by Mitchell Lake on my left. And we're almost done with this thing. Maybe 1 more mile back down to the trailhead. And we've seen a bunch of different animals today. Started off on the drive and I almost plowed into like a whole herd of elk going across the street in the middle of the night. Could barely see him, had to slam on my brakes. Then we saw the bear. Then we saw some deer that almost jumped into the road. And then on the hike, we've seen moose, ptarmigans, and squirrels. Actually, there's a squirrel right here throwing stuff onto me. And we're back. Mitchell Lake Trailhead. It's just now 12:30. So that only took us 2 hours and 15 minutes to come down from the summit of Mount Toll. It took us 3 hours and 10 minutes to get up there. And we're thinking that it's close to 4¼ miles each way. Well, we hope you enjoyed that hike. And until the next one, y'all, peace.